Hi everyone. I just wanted to come on and say thank you so much. My recent podcast interview with Una Jane Winfield has done really well for my channel, and yeah, I'm completely blown away. There's like 300 comments. It's had like 8,000 views, and it's got loads of watch time. So that means that women are listening, and it means you care, and it means that we're not alone. People are listening. So my name's Kelly Oliver Dougall. I'm a counsellor and I've got this podcast, and I'm someone who's passionate about creating spaces for women to speak freely and to be heard. And I created this channel to talk about the things many people are too afraid to say publicly. I started it after the general election last year, when I stood for Party of Women as the candidate for Tynemouth constituency in my local area, and I just want to say thank you for showing that this kind of content matters. That episode with Una Jane was very personal for her. She shared a lot of personal information, and it was really brave of her to speak about the things that she talked about. And overwhelmingly, the comments have been quite supportive, but there has been some trolling on there as well. And, you know, it's just when I get a guest on who is willing to open up like that, I think it's a bit of a shame when people are rude and nasty to my guest. But we talked about what it means to stand up against lies, what it costs to say no, to draw a line, and to put safeguarding and women's rights above ideology and reputation. Not that it should cost you your reputation to tell the truth, but anyway, it clearly struck a chord, and there's been lots of comments from trans widows, other trans widows, and women and men, and that's why I do this. I wanted to bring these experiences to light, not for clicks or controversy, but because these conversations need to happen. And I want to take a moment to talk about you. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I just wanted to ask you to take just a second and click the subscribe button, because you might think that it doesn't matter, or that subscribing is just for algorithm junkies. But the truth is, when you subscribe, you're not just helping me, you're helping us, and you're helping every woman who's ever had her voice drowned out. You're helping me to grow a platform that can reach further, speak louder, and amplify stories that are just they're forgotten. You've just got to watch the interview that I did with Dr. Victoria Mattingly, who did not know what a trans widow was. She'd never heard of it. And this is a consultant who is delivering training in companies, presumably in America. And she doesn't know about that this group of women exist. And if we don't know that this group of women exists, then how can we make them count? How can we advocate for them? And if her goal is inclusion, not just her, it's there's lots of people who are like her. If inclusion is their goal, then they're missing a big chunk of the of the of the bigger picture. So subscribing, it helps me attract guests like Una Jane. It gives me credibility when I approach new women and say, you deserve to be heard and my audience is ready to listen. And it also helps me to keep this channel independent, because I don't have sponsors from big brands. I'm not backed by big institutions, don't have a production team. It's just me, the camera, and the courage to keep showing up. And the more this channel grows, the more conversations that we can have. I've already had women reaching out asking if they can share their stories, and some women who really don't want to share their stories, they'll share with me, but they're not ready to share with the world. They're trans widows and women who have children who are trans, who've lost their children. Some women who've been cancelled, stalked, harassed and excluded from the mental health services. And that's just because they speak the truth, and they want to know that when they come to my channel, they know that it'll be safe for them to speak. That safety and that trust, it doesn't happen by accident. It's built bit by bit with every view, every share and every subscriber. If you've been moved by what you've heard from my podcast interviews, and if you've only just watched one, please do go look go and look through the catalogue. I've been doing this since last September 2024, and I've released an episode every single week since then. Haven't had any breaks, so please do go and watch the other episodes because I think you'll enjoy those as well. And don't just stop there. Please subscribe, please share the episode, comment, join the community. We're building something here, and I honestly believe it's just the beginning. One of the things that I've realised doing this work as both a therapist and a podcaster is that just so many of us are grieving. We've lost friendships, reputation, communities, family members, our spaces, our dignity, our respect, our rights. Sometimes we're grieving people who are still alive, they're just no longer in our lives. And these conversations are part of that grieving process. They're part of the healing. And every time we see that happen to me too, or you're not crazy, we reclaim a bit of ourselves. And honestly, that's sacred. And that's why it's not just a podcast, it's a lifeline. And if you're here for that, if you're here for healing, for honesty and solidarity, then you're in the right place. And let me also say this, because very rarely does everyone agree with everyone all the time, or anyone all of the time. So you don't have to agree with every guest that I have on. In fact, I welcome respectful disagreement. That's how we grow. That's how we stay intellectually and emotionally honest. But what I won't compromise on is women's right to speak, to feel, to grieve, and to tell the truth of their lives. I actually met up with 5 other women. There was 6 of us all together. And we were preparing the leaflets for Let Women Speak in Whitley Bay yesterday, and it was lovely because I've brought these women together, and almost all of them voted for me. Some of them didn't because they're not in the right area, but would have done. And we agree on this issue that humans can't change sex and men should not be in women's spaces, sports. We shouldn't be giving them our language. And we disagree on other things, but we do it respectfully, and it's such a lovely group. I really love that I've been able to create that, and it's the same on my channel. My channel is growing, and it's such a lovely community as well. So when I ask you to subscribe to the channel, I'm really asking, will you stand with me in protecting this space that I'm creating? Because it's not always easy. Running this channel and speaking up has cost, mainly time, but also emotionally and professionally have been suspended from my professional body. I've now been reinstated, but it's still ongoing. So that's been quite stressful. But do you know what? I wouldn't change it, because every time I hear from a woman who says this helped me or I felt less alone, I just know that it's worth it. So next on the channel, I have got some more wonderful interviews lined up. I have got Hero Goodker, who is another DEI consultant, but she understands that there's lots of different groups, and she's responding to Dr. Victoria, who didn't understand the wider context of what she was doing. Hero does understand about trans widows and children of trans people and detransitioners. She knows about all those groups. And yeah, so I also have Jasmine Sussex, who is an Australian breastfeeding counsellor, or she was, until she was sacked. So she's coming to talk about that and what she's doing next. And we also, on this channel, talk about other topics as well, like related to being cancelled, that ambiguous loss, the cost of being cancelled, and how your nervous system reacts when we're told to shut up, when we're silenced or we're shamed for speaking the truth. So if you don't want to miss those, hit the notification bell too, and that way you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. It means more than I can say. And if you're able to share any of the episodes that you have enjoyed, then tag someone you think you should hear it, that you think should hear it, that helps as well. So that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've helped turn this little corner of the internet into something powerful, something hopeful, something real. And let's keep going, let's keep listening, and let's keep speaking. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.